Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful crop top with double puff sleeves. For this tutorial, these are the items you are going to be needing, and then to derive the measurements to draft out this pattern, follow these instructions. Following the instructions, this is my derived measurement. Now to draft out the pattern, we are going to mark out a box which is 8 by 17 inches. 8 being the front length and 17 being the front width. Now you want to mark out the middle of the length, which is 4 inches, and connect the line across. From that line you want to go up by half an inch and down by half an inch. Then now you want to mark out the middle of the width, which is 8.5. Then at the upper line, come down by half an inch. From the side, you mark 3 inches by 3 inches. This is the armhole. Now you're going to connect these markings with a curved line, just as you see me doing it now. If you have a curved ruler, you can use that, but I didn't have that with me right now, so I just did mine free-handedly. So now I went ahead to mark out the waist measurement and the midpoint of the bust measurement, which is 8.5. I went up by half an inch. I just drew a curved line to meet at the midpoint. And that's it for the front pattern. For the back pattern, go ahead and draw out another box, but this time 7 by 17 inches, which is the back length and back width. Now for the armhole of the back, we are going to take it 3 by 2 inches because the back is 1 inch shorter than the front, which means the neckline of the back would be a little bit lower. Go ahead and cut out the pattern pieces. Then you go ahead and cut out your fabric, cutting the back pattern on fold, 2 pieces of the front and 8 ropes. Now for the sleeves, you are going to cut out 2 pieces of your sleeve length by sleeve width plus sewing allowance and place that on fold. From the top of the sleeve, you come down by 6 inches and draw a curved line from the top of the sleeve to 6 inches. then cut it out. Now you want to double fold the middle part of the front. Pin in place and sew along the inner edge of the fold. After that, this is what it looks like. Now you want to double fold the top and bottom parts of the front piece to create tunnels for drawstrings. I pinned mine in place. Now you want to sew along the inside edge of the fold. Then you want to iron it out and repeat the same process for the other side of the front piece. Now for the ropes, you want to double fold the edge inwards and sew along the edge. This is what it should look like. Then repeat the process for 3 other ropes to make it 4. Using a safety pin, you are going to take each rope through their individual tunnels. Make sure to pin the rope at the end of the tunnel so it doesn't unravel. Repeat the process for the other side of the front piece. Now you are going to stitch the ends of the tunnels. Then pull on the drawstrings and ruch down the front piece till it is your bust measurement divided by 4 plus ½ inch for seam allowance. Repeat on the other front piece and tie the ropes together. And that's it for the front piece. For the back piece, you want to double fold the top and the bottom edges to create a tunnel for elastic. This is what it should look like. Now to figure out the measurement for elastic that we're going to be using. For the lower part, you measure out your waist measurement and divide that by 4. And add 1 inch for seam allowance. And then for the upper part, you measure your neck width and divide that by 2 and add 1 inch for seam allowance. My neck width is about 10 inches, so divided by 2 will be 5 plus 1, that is 6. Now using a safety pin, you are going to take each elastic through their respective tunnel. Make sure to pin in place so it doesn't unravel. Go ahead and stitch it in place. Now this is what the back piece looks like. Now you're going to place the back and the front piece together with right sides facing and sew 1/2 inch on both sides, which is the same allowance. Now this is what it's looking like so far. Now we're going to double fold the edge of the sleeve and iron it out. Now for the double puff effect on the sleeves, we are going to mark 2 lines. I marked out the first one, which is 5 inch from the bottom part of the sleeve, and from the top part of the sleeve I marked 11 inches. Now you're going to take one of the remaining 4 ropes and create a tunnel for elastic onto the sleeves. Begin by sewing 1/4 inch straight down along the line and then stitching the other edge down to create the tunnel for the elastic. Then repeat that for the upper part. Please note that for the measurement of elastic, I divided around my arm measurement by 2 and added 1 inch for seam allowance and repeated that for the waist. Then with the use of a safety pin, you want to take the elastic through the tunnels. Pin in place so it doesn't unravel. Repeat the same process for the upper part, which is around the arm. Go ahead and stitch the elastic in place. Now you want to place some folds with the right sides facing and sew 1/2 inch, which is the same allowance. Repeat on the other sleeve. Now you're going to place the sleeve onto the armhole of the bodice. Pin in place and sew 1/2 inch. After sewing, this is what we have. Now you want to double fold around the upper part of the sleeve to create a tunnel for elastic. Now you want to measure what you have and divide it by 2. Whatever you have will be your measurement for elastic. Don't forget to add your sewing allowance. Using a safety pin, you're going to take the elastic through the tunnels. Pin in place and stitch down. Repeat the same process on the other side, and that is about it. That's it for this tutorial, guys. I really loved how this turned out and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Until the next one, bye.